Hello there, and welcome back again to What's Cooking at Mammy's House. I'm excited to have you today. We've got a festive meal going on, a festive dish, and to match my festive apron and outfit that I made, which is pretty nice, and my daughter Francie, who helped me with the waistband. So I really like it, and it matches perfect for today. Today is Tuesday, right here with me right now. So on Tuesdays is a kind of like a free day at Mammy's Kitchen. So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we usually have a specific special. That's where the meatloaf comes in every Thursday for 13 years. Tuesdays are free because I want to make something different. I want to come up with a new dish. And so a few weeks ago, I came up with a Taco Tuesday. So love eating Mexican. So I thought, how can I do that here at the restaurant? Can't really put tacos on a plate. That would be too hard. To keep the burritos good and not hard, couldn't do that. So of course my Southern style came up with a good old-fashioned taco bake casserole, and I'm gonna tell you, it's been a hit ever since. I'm gonna do a beef taco bake today for you, and actually Jennifer's doing a chicken taco bake at the restaurant, but you and me are going to get in here and get this. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to need some chopped up onion anyway, so we're going to chop some onion. If I didn't need this for some fresh salsa that we're going to make to go with our meal, I would just use onion powder because I didn't want to get my hands all smelly. And you know how I feel about onions. But we're going to do it anyway because we got to have it in our fresh salsa. And we're also going to do some refried beans. I want to fix the whole meal because you've got to have it all. And what is a taco casserole without refried beans and some queso cheese and some fresh homemade salsa that's really easy to make? But I want to get these minced up pretty good. And they're smelling really good. Which I can smell really good right now because we are kind of in the middle or at the beginning of spring, at the end of winter, and my body doesn't know whether it has a winter cold or summer allergies or spring allergies. It's in confused state right now, so if I start sneezing, but the aroma of the onions is kind of help breaking all of that up, which is good. I feel better, and I feel good being with you guys today. Got a shout out to one of my favorite customers, Mrs. Knopp. Mrs. Susan Knopp came in the restaurant to see me, even though she has broken her ankle, but she was with her son, and so they were coming in to have some of our famous meatloaf, and I got to spend some time with Jim and Susan. I love my fans. I love my customers. I love my fans. They're true friends for life. All right, mince. Just kind of keep chopping, taking your knife, going back and forth. All right, so I'm gonna save some of these. I'm gonna take some of these and I'm gonna put them in my hamburger, and we're gonna let that simmer right now. I've got some ground beef simmering right here. It's almost done. I've drained it. Put a few onions, and I'm gonna save the rest. So we'll put those over here with our ingredients for our salsa. So anyway, so I've got my onions, and they're gonna simmer. I've got this on low, and it's almost done. And I also want to take some taco seasoning. Just like my chilies, I like to season my beef or my chicken. Just to get every bite of this taco casserole. You want to be good. You don't want to have your meat or your beef or you don't want your beef or your chicken to be very blah tasting like you just threw it in there. So I'm also going to get a little bit of water. And I'm just going to let that simmer down. Just like if you were making tacos at home. This is the first step. So we're going to simmer this and let those onions get translucent. I know I'm home. I'm playing hooky today because I am kind of sick and I do want to cook this for you, but this is fun to stay home and play hooky every now and then. Even though I am the boss, I had to call myself, I still have people to answer to, just like all of those customers that's coming into Mammy's today. Jen, I've got Jen there today, so I get to play hooky, and she's always there to help me out. So thanks, Jen. All right, that looks pretty good. Turn it up a little bit because we've got lots of ingredients to add to it. So while that's simmering, I'm going to do my mom's apple cake. In our recipe book, there's a few recipes in there, so I'm kind of mixing them all together and putting them into one bundt pan. But I have not had this forever and don't feel good, so I was kind of craving it. I don't know if a good old American apple cake and a Tex-Mex casserole really goes together, but that's what we're going to do, because we'll do when we play hooky and we stay home and cook and eat all day. So let me get all the ingredients, and while I do that, let's take a break to one of my favorite places, downtown Bardstown, where I've got this necklace. So let's take a break for a Peacock commercial. So what we're going to do on my mom's fresh apple cake, we're going to mix some cream or butter and sugar together. So I'm going to do probably just a stick of kind of room temperature butter. And I always make just a little bit more. I get nervous, but you don't have to. I've got 2 cups of sugar. I'm going to mix all that. This is just a really moist cake. Okay, so what I'm going to do, that's that fast little booger right there. So we're going to add 2 eggs. And they're good. Always watch your eggs. You don't want any blood in them at all. So it looks good. I'm going to blend our eggs in here, kind of get the wet ingredients. Now I'm going to do my spices. I'm going to do some allspice because it's an apple cake, and I'm going to do some cinnamon mixed in with some nutmeg. Then we'll add some vanilla here in a minute. I've got self-rising flour right here, and we've got to be very careful because this mixer is really fast. And your mixture, your apple cake is going to be really thick. It's not like a cake mix. And I need about 2 cups. I've had a cup so far. And I'm going to add some of this vanilla. Keep some of that powder down. And it's exactly as dry as I want it to be. About 2 cups of self-rising flour. The rest of my vanilla, which is about a teaspoon. It's going to be really good. We have time, we'll do a little caramel drizzle over top. Caramel apple cake. That looks pretty good. My black top is going to be speckled with white flour. That's okay. All right. Looks like that's incorporated really good. So we're going to add our about 2 cups of apples. Let's put them in there. And these are a sweet yellow apple. A little bit of tart, but pretty crisp. They'll cook really good. Granny Smith apples I normally do in a pie, and these are a little bit softer. All right, put a little extra in there. Okay, we're just gonna fold them in. Got a little piece I don't want in there. Little core, apple core. Oh, this is gonna be so good. You can just tell by looking at it and the mixture of the consistency of the batter. It's just perfect. With all them apples. Now I'm gonna add some pecans. And these, you can omit these. You don't have to use them. I like pecans. Or walnuts. All right, we're gonna take our bundt pan, which is my mom's, pretty old. Probably don't need to oil it much, but I'm not gonna take any chances. So we're gonna put some spray in here. That's some good old Pam right here. You really want your bundt cakes to come out perfect. And then mine always kind of gets stuck right around in here, so I kind of double grease it. This is butter, so it's not going to hurt it, that's for sure. I'm actually going to add a little bit of flour. Today, we've got a lot of good things coming up this season. Summer's right around the corner. Love spring. Got Derby. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. We're getting ready to open up a patio at the restaurant. Everybody's so excited. Get old man winter out of here and bring in the spring. All right. Oh, this smells really good. Those onions smell really good. That taco sauce, those spices. Ooh, it's going to be very good today. So we're going to put this in this bundt pan. Just get it in there as even as you can. It doesn't feel like a traditional batter, but I guess it's not supposed to be. I hope it turns out, for my mom's sake. I know hers did. We'll see. If it don't come out in one piece, we can eat it in a bunch of pieces. It doesn't really matter as long as it's good. I don't make pretty cakes, but I make good ones. I don't think I'm just patient enough to sit there and make a pretty cake. Maybe I should try. Maybe as I get older, I'll do that. All right. Try to get a little bit more of that batter in as much as possible. Oh, there we go. All right, we're going to put this in and get back to our Tex-Mex casserole and our queso cheese and our fresh salsa and our refried beans. We're going to take a break from one of our local supporters and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So I've got the cake in the oven. I've got my beef simmering, which is really good. I'm going to cube some cheese, some white queso cheese. One of my favorites is the cheese dip and the salsa. You know, when you first sit down, you can grab you some of that, but I'm going to dice it up, put it in a pot. We're gonna just slowly melt it. Then we'll add just a few spices to it. Won't need much, but I'm going to do some heavy cream in there also, just so it won't burn and to give it that velvety texture. So, and just can't have Tex-Mex without your queso cheese, or I know I can't. And it goes pretty fast at the restaurant too. And I use this a lot in a lot of dips. Our spinach and artichoke dip. I'll put this in there, some heavy cream. I love dips. I love appetizers. I could really live off appetizers, hors d'oeuvres, and all of that. So, going to be good. And this doesn't take that long. And you can do this in a double boiler. I just don't have one, so I'm going to have to watch it close. But that's why we're going to pour some of this heavy cream so that cheese won't stick to the bottom. And we're going to use all of that. Cream and cheese. And we're just going to keep an eye on it, and then we'll add maybe a few diced tomatoes, a little bit of this cheese, cheddar Monterey Jack. But right now we're going to put it over here and keep it on low. That way I can keep an eye on it. There we go. All right, so I'm going to bring this over. Set it right here. Turn that over. Oh my goodness, you could almost just eat it like this. And lots of times when my kids were little and we had tacos, you know, we did. Okay, so all my hamburger is done. I've drained it. The water is evaporated. So this is what we're going to add. So first of all, I want to add some taco sauce. And you can get this at your local grocery, just anywhere. And I've got about a cup that I just added to it. And this is 5 pounds of hamburger. Hamburger beef. You can get chuck, you can get chicken. Oh. So that was about a cup. I'm going to do about another half a cup. Get it all mixed in together. All right, some good ingredients coming now. So this is my favorite. We're going to do about a cup of sour cream. Oh my goodness. Kind of tames down the spiciness of the sauce and the powder. But sour cream, who could not just eat sour cream on everything? From breakfast to lunch to dinner. Sour cream makes any dish better. And if you don't like sour cream, if you're that one person that doesn't like sour cream, you can use yogurt. Or if you're watching the calories, I think yogurt might be a little bit better. And it's the same. So I'm going to add a little bit more. Just use all of it. Don't want to waste it. Boy, it smells really good. This is opening up my airways for sure. So this is the perfect dish for me today. Yum. So I'm going to add a few diced tomatoes. I really don't want any chunks, but just the flavor of the diced chilies with, these are petite diced tomato, but just for the chilies. And the color. Ooh, look at that pretty red in there. Matches my necklace. I love cooking at home. I love cooking at the restaurant. I've always loved cooking. There's never a time in my life that I've never burnt out from cooking for so many people. There's never a time that I've always loved it. Like I said, I'm not a chef. I'm just an old country cook. And I just find something fascinating about making a really good dish for other people and myself. You know, I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday, but I have all those memories from my grandmothers. And I guess I was just very fortunate to have both sides of the family that lived on farms and pretty much was farm to table. So I had that wonderful experience, and just very, very fortunate, and I'll never forget it. So I'm going to add a little bit more, and this is a Monterey Jack with a cheddar, kind of like a Mexican cheese. Just going to add a little bit because I can. Just making it a little bit cheesy. Put about a half a cup in there. And this is ready to get put together, really. All right, let's see how this is going. Turn that off. I'll burn myself. Perfect. Oh, it's going to be so good. Cannot wait for this meal. Then I think I'm going to take me a nap. All right, so we're going to start layering now. And I'm going to butter, just play it on the safe side. Just as it's not really a dish that's a non-stick dish. So what we're going to do is take our tacos, and we're just, instead of doing this, I want to do a casserole, and I'm going to chop them up, and I don't want them to be real fine. It's almost like a Mexican or a Tex-Mex lasagna, because we're going to do layers. This is the first layer. And oddly enough, the chips stay crunchy while it bakes. One more. There we go. How easy was that? Okay, so we've got this all stirred together. It's all mixed very well. Oh my gosh. Just eat that alone, I'm telling you. You could do a taco bar if you didn't want to do a taco bake. That would be a lot of fun too if you're entertaining. Good idea there for my friends. All right, just gonna layer the hamburger on top of the taco shells. All right, so I'm gonna pour this in there. Yeah, we can call this a taco lasagna. All right, let's get it all even. Got some good chunks of beef in there. Looks even. Have to get you a deep dish. Get at least 2 layers. Then we're gonna do, so I've got the taco shells, I've got the hamburger mixture, and we're gonna do cheese. Fun dish. And you could take this to parties and to family outings together. Gonna be a lot of those coming up. I can't wait. With my family. My grandkids would love this. This is one dish that I know for sure they're going to eat. All right, so we're going to do the tacos again. Going to go with our second layer. I just wanted to use tacos since it's a taco bake. You can do corn chips or the taco chips. And I found they stayed crunchy too, so. All right, got that on. Let's go with the rest of our beef. Perfect amount. Wow. This heat reheats very good too, because we're going to be eating on this a couple of days, I think. But I've got a big family. So they'll just have to invite them all over. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that. Cover it with your last layer of cheese. See you later. I'm going to melt that cheese really good. Oh, and the cake smells so good with those spices, that nutmeg, that cinnamon. Yum. Go really easy. All right, there we go. So let's start on our refried beans. I've been wanting to do this forever and ever. It's gonna be fun. So when we come back in, I'm gonna straighten up, bring our refried beans over here, start smashing them, check on our cheese, and we're almost done. So we'll see you right after this commercial from a very special sponsor. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna smash up our refried beans and we're gonna put them in our dish. And we cook beans, pinto beans, every morning at the restaurant. So I just went and brought some home with me this morning. But we're gonna smash them up and fix our own in our Tex-Mex skillet. Kind of fried them off there a little bit. They had already cooked them until they were done in a ham hock this morning. So I took a few cups, a jar home with me. And so we're just going to continue to smash and smash and smash. We're going to keep smashing. And starting to get a little bit thicker and thicker as I get all that bean juice out of there. You know what? Probably just as well keep them in the good old iron skillet than even in that. It is Tex-Mex Tuesday. The iron skillet, the old cowboy way. Wonder if the old cowboys invented these refried beans. Or they cooked them every night and every night by the fire, and they just turned into mush. And we today call it refried beans. Okay, so I'm gonna leave these in here. I like it better here than in the casserole dish, but either one is fine. I'm just gonna layer it up with a little bit of cheese just for some color. And then we're just gonna set this in the oven with the casserole and the cake just to let it warm up. It's not gonna hurt it. Well, that sure is a pretty oven right there. My, yum, yum. I can't wait to eat today. And what we're needing, so I'm gonna stir my cheese sauce, and it's starting to look perfect. I can even turn that down a little bit. I'm gonna try. That is done. Let's go ahead and finish this off. Don't use that right now. Add some color to this. Can be a little bit bland, so I think this is going to be good. A little chipotle powder. And we're going to let that rest on the stove top until we're ready to serve it. And there you go. That's really pretty. Can't wait to stick a chip in there. Okay, so for some salsa, I want to do it myself. I don't have any. I've got tomatoes. I've got all the sides that go to it. So let's start dicing some tomatoes. So I'm going to do them as fine as I can. Do either chunky salsa or fine salsa. I want mine fine. We love making homemade salsa at the restaurant. I've got a couple of cooks that love making it. And if they want to make it, they are welcome to make anything they want. And so they did, and they created this salsa. It was so good that we just kind of stuck with homemade salsa. It's one of our most favorite and popular appetizers. Tomatoes smell good. Very pretty. Ready to start planting your gardens. This is what it reminds me of. Some fresh tomatoes here in a few months. I'm going to take you to a trip to Gravel Switch one day. We're going to look at my son's garden. Love it. And what he's doing for some children is going to be phenomenal for the county of Marion County. So we're going to add some of our onions. Just a little bit. And then here comes our spices. Make a little bit of this or a lot. So I'm going to add some garlic. It's about a half a teaspoonful right there. I want that juice more than anything. So try to pour some of that in there. Ooh, it smells good. My eyes are burning. I'm going to feel like $100 after this meal because everything is just opening up my airways, which is a good thing. So I'm going to do about a teaspoon of lemon juice. Here we go. And I want some spice in that. So I just got some chipotle seasonings. So I'll add that. And then I've got some herbs right here. And I've got basil, oregano, and a little bit of garlic. So we're going to put that in there. And you can do fresh. I've got the dry, so I'm going to do the dry. So I need some cilantro. Yeah, that's kind of like a mini flavor. Oh, that's going to be good. Some cilantro. Oh, some basil right there. So let me get a fork. All of this up together. Oh my gosh, this looks divine. Kind of smush it a little bit. Get some of that tomato and the juices. Oh, and it smells so good. I'll end up having to make a lot more of this. And what I'm going to do, I have some of this taco sauce left. So I'm going to pour a little bit of that in there. That's how I create most of my recipes at the restaurants. For sure, all my soups. It's what's in the fridge. I use what I have. Very seldom do I have to run out to get anything. Oh my goodness. It smells really fresh. Really good. So while I've got everything in the oven, I've got our apple cake, fresh apple cake in the oven. I've got our refried beans, and I've got our Taco Tuesday casserole. So Tex-Mex casserole. I don't know what to call it, but it's just going to be a good Mexican casserole. But anyway, I want to make some homemade chips because I don't have any. And you got to have your chips with your salsa and your cheese sauce. So I'm just going to take my scissors, add some tortillas. We're going to fry them up. I'm just cutting them in quarters. You know, I had some good old oil in my pan. So let's go over and fry some of these up. Okay, so we're going to dip them in there. Some good vegetable oil. This is fun. Love making my own chips. And fry. Then I want to flip them over when I see they're getting really good and crispy brown. Just let them continue to fry. And I've got this on high. It'll be good with our cheese dip. Might just have to have me this, take my medicine, and lay on the couch and watch a good movie and get healed, and then let's start enjoying this beautiful weather. All right, flip them over. They're getting hard, crispy. And you've made your own chips and salsa. Put them in a pretty wooden bowl. I like being festive too. I'm going to get a paper towel, let some of the extra oil. There. Wow, these are going to be so good. And the only thing I want to dust these with is a little bit of salt. All right, we're going to do a few more, and then we'll be getting our casserole out of the oven. My mom always said that you can have one day. I'll call her and I'll be like, boo-hoo, woe is me. And my mom she'd be like, you can have one day and that's it. And then after that, it's time to get back into life. I think I'm going to have one of those days with this, enjoy all this, the home by myself, being home, having this wonderful food until everybody comes. And by that time, I'll be ready to have some company. But I'm going to enjoy all of this today by myself. And then tomorrow I'll be back at it. Kind of want some of that oil, so some of that salt will just kind of stick around. There we go. Turn my oil off. Done with him. Bring him over and get our casserole out. We're still waiting on our apple cake. So it's going to be so good. I'm so excited. This is the ta-da moment. So, and it's looking pretty ta-da to me. Oh my gosh, that is so good. That is so pretty. This is a perfect dish for company, people. Oh my goodness, it's such an easy one to put together. Put it in the fridge and put it in the oven whenever you're ready. That's beautiful. Oh, and it smells so good too. Yum. Then give me a towel for my beans. Here's our refried beans. And we're going to leave our cake in there a few more minutes. The center of it's not done yet, but all that means is I've got time to make it a caramel sauce to go on top of it when it comes out. So we're going to melt some butter, some brown sugar to create a caramel sauce. Then we're going to add a little bit of extra to it. So let's get this butter good and hot, hot, hot. And this can go over ice cream, a brownie. You can use this all the time. We make this a lot at the restaurant. I always put it over top of my cakes. I've got some really good recipes, and I use this one, the easy caramel frosting, on my jam cake when I do it. It's really good, but I want more of a sauce than I do a frosting for this cake, but either or would be good. So some butter, take some light brown sugar and put it in there. I got a little extra for my grandkids to put on their ice cream cones. I have a granddaughter, Emery, who loves caramel. Caramel, caramel. Which is it? Which is right? Caramel, that's the prettier way to say it. Caramel is the countryer way to say it. Damn, I'm so country, I can't take it. That's okay. I get it honest. Now what I want to do is, because I love Eagle brand, and I do use the caramel sauce. Kind of cheating a little bit, but I'm just kind of adding to it a little bit. I think it gives me that thickener, whereas like cornstarch or that extra caramel flavor is what I want. Is really what I want. So I'll do a can of that. Or you can actually do just the regular milk. It's still going to be a caramel flavor. Ooh. And I'm going to taste it before it starts getting boiling hot. See if I need more sugar or what. Oh my gosh. Whew, we're going to need some ice cream today. We're going to have to call Pop. Bring us some ice cream for this. Oh, but it's going to be delicious over that cake. Going to be a fat day here at Mammy's house. Tex-Mex casserole, refried beans, chips and dip. Yum. And this apple cake. It's good to be home. And I'm glad that I've got to spend my day here with all of you all. It's really fun. We're going to have to do this more often. If you've got any ideas, something you want to see me cook, just call PLG or call up Mammy's and ask for Robin or me. And or write us a letter. I would love to have some ideas. I love recipes. You know, I would do a whole show on people's recipes. I've got a whole book where when we first started our restaurant, people would bring me recipes. All my good friends and customers. And a lot of them we still cook today. So we're going to keep him on low. Let's let that simmer. Got that butter, that caramel. Nothing better than that. Get us. Then what we're going to do is just take that and pour that on top of that cake. We're going to drizzle and drizzle so it's the perfect consistency. And we're going to keep this on low and just let that butter simmer down. All right, we're going to check on our cake. Oh, gosh. Oh, I think that's perfect. So I'm getting ready to bring that out. Oh, we're going to let this cool. Oh, boy, that smells good. Wish you had smell-o-vision, because you would be coming to my house here at Beach Fork today. I guarantee you that. It smells good. Okay, so I'm going to wiggle out the sides. And I should let it cool a little bit more. Always cool your cakes. And really, you should never cool them in a refrigerator. You should always put them straight in a freezer. It will keep the moisture in, that flash freezing, rather than kind of drying out in a refrigerator. So might have to put this one in there, but I just want to see if it's going to stick. Oh, right there or right there. So anyway, I'm going to do this on TV. If it sticks, it sticks. And I'm going to kind of help it out a little bit. So, all right, let's get us a plate. And I like to, and I'll show you why. All right. So we've got a plate. I'm going to go over like that. Fingers crossed. I get so nervous when I do this. All right. All right. 1, 2. I'm scared. Let me check on my. Oh, that's looking really, really, really good. Good. I'm going to turn that off. All right. I don't feel good. Please, God, let this turn out, because I really want a pretty cake. If not, I'm going to eat it anyway. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, something dropped, but I just don't know if it's all. Oh, this is my mom's old bundt pan. Don't let me down. All right. It's too warm. So if it doesn't, it's not my fault. I'm just doing it too quick. Oh, well, almost, I would say 99% is good. But what I do like to do, oh, it still looks good and pretty. Turn it back over. That's perfect. Perfect. See, nobody would ever know. Oh my goodness, that's really good too. I make good cakes, not pretty cakes. But this one, this just tops the cake. That's beautiful. And that just means somebody gets to eat the good, crusty, chewy pieces out of here. Nothing goes wasted on a cake, I promise you that. What a beautiful, beautiful arrangement of food. I just think this, and it smells divine with the taco seasonings and the apple, the fresh apples and the salsa. It's colorful, it's vibrant, and it's tasty. So I'm gonna start tasting everything. I already know how the cake tastes, and it's yummy, but I'm gonna give it a better taste test here in a minute. Got some of my Tex-Mex plates going on. So, all right, let me get me some spoons and forks and stuff. I'm getting excited. So let's dig in here first. All right, I want part of that good cheese. Oh my goodness, that looks so good. Hope you're enjoying it at the restaurant today while we're enjoying it here. Just want to cut that in squares, and there you go. Very easy. Okay, and we're going to take some salsa. That's so pretty. That gives you that color for this. Take some of the cheese dip. Put it right there. Take some lettuce. Can't have a taco without your toppings. A little bit of cheese right there. And some refried beans. All right, let's do the salsa first. I mean, you ought to do this all the time. That's so much better than a chip. Crunchy on the outside, a little bit chewy on the inside, and the salsa's really good. Try some of the cheese dip. It's a keeper. Man. I'm going to have to play hooky more often with all of these dishes. All right. Well, that's going to be really good. When I just can't keep all of this to myself. So forget about me being home by myself all day. I'm going to have to call up my kids, my grandkids, my friends. All right, here we go. Oh, wow. That's good. I want to cut right now and get to eating. I tell you that much right now. That salsa, everything is so fresh and good. Wow. Anyway, great. This is great. This is a wonderful meal. You've got to try this. It's a good meal. And that's enough to last me and my family 2 to 3 nights. Put it in the fridge and you're good to go. And those chips and salsa, grandkids would much rather have that chip. Really good. Put some sea salt on there and it's not really that bad. So anyway, I'm going to pass it up just for a minute because we are going to try my mom's apple cake. And my caramel sauce that I'm going to drink in a cup. I really could drink this like this. But I'm not. Not for the camera, but I will behind the camera. All right. Let's cut it and see. Thelma Lou's fresh apple cake. Now her name was Thelma Francis. And she always said, nobody's going to name any of my grandchildren after me. Nobody's going to name their kid Thelma. It just hasn't been one of those names that's made it back around yet. And she was right. I certainly didn't name any of mine Thelma. But I did name my daughter Francie. My mom was Thelma Frances Hurrigan. And so I just try to take that name somehow. I was having my third daughter. I didn't know what to name her. I was like out of names. So I come up with her grandmother, her dad's mom, Teresa May, and Thelma Frances. So I put them together, Teresa Fran, and we call her Francie because her personality has just been happy and cheery, and she's always been the sunshine in my life. And every time I see her, you want to smile. I smile. So Teresa Fran, Mom, I finally gave one your name. So she was happy with that. She totally understood. Thelma! That's how Mammy would yell for her. Thelma! Oh, I bet she hated it, even in her time. It's a little crumbly. That's okay. I may have put a few too many apples, but that's okay. It's for home. It's not for show. Give me a fork. Oh, it's really crunchy on the outside and really moist on the inside. And we're gonna have to go out or call Palp to bring us some ice cream. Boy, this with a big dollop of ice cream. I'm saying it on the show, and I don't know where it comes from. It comes from my pal. Woo, doggies. Did your grandfather or great-grandfather ever say that? Or was it just on the Clampets? Jan, woo, doggies. I don't know where I come up with some of that. Like howdy do. My Aunt Lorraine, she worked in a restaurant, my sister's restaurant in Lebanon. And every time somebody would come in and be howdy do, and I was like, what's howdy do mean? Oh, and now we say it, howdy do. It means hello, how are you? All right, here we go. Oh my gosh. That's good, warm. Oh, that's good. It's really crunchy, more than you think. It's really crunchy, but like a candy, and very, very chewy on the inside. Oh, I love that. And that's good. Very good. So this has been one of my favorite shows so far. I really like it because of the food has been phenomenal. This taco casserole is one of the best things I've cooked in a long time. The refried beans, never buy a can again, don't have to. The pinto beans are perfect. And I bet you can use these over and over. The homemade chips, don't ever buy the chips again. That's perfect. And I didn't have to have a big deep fryer or anything either. It's just perfect in that oil. Homemade salsa, everything that I made is so easy. We've done it in a limited time. I've talked longer than it actually took me to cook any of this. And my mom's apple cake, as usual, is perfect. So thank you all for joining me today. And after all of this, and I'm gonna just let you take me a nap today, then call all the family. I'm gonna get my nap in first. Remember, shop local, eat local, drink local, bank local. Let's all stay local here in Bardstown, Kentucky and other small counties. Love you all. See you next time.